Welcome to The Intuitive Therapist with Janis Cohen, therapist, clairvoyant, empath, and medium. Listen in as she takes a no-nonsense, deep dive into real human struggles and how to resolve them. Janis will share channeled information from her spirit guide team, as well as angels and archangels, to help you master your emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual destiny. And now, Janis R. Cohen.
Hey y'all, this is Janis Cohen, the Intuitive Therapist, here on the Intuitive Therapist podcast. I have a different kind of topic to talk about today, and I'm really excited to hear what you think about it and see how it resonates with you. I'm going to share with you kind of a parable and talk a little bit about who you are when challenges arise. As I'm talking, I want you to think about how do you see yourself when you experience difficulties? Are you somebody that typically gives in and becomes a victim and totally taken over by a sense of helplessness? Are you somebody that immediately shifts into fight mode and fights against the world and goes into anger? Or are you somebody who uses your life experience to make you a better person? So today I want to talk about, like I said, I want to read you a parable, and I want to give you guidance about how to be your best self when you encounter life challenges. The story is called Carrot, Egg, or Coffee. And I found this, it's interesting, like I told you, in previous podcasts, I love to do research. Like I'm always searching for content. If it doesn't come to me naturally, content that I feel like would help my clients and would help listeners. And this story really resonated with me. A young woman went to her grandmother and told her about her life and how things were so hard for her. Her husband had cheated on her, and she was devastated. She didn't know how she was going to make it and wanted to give up, in all honesty. She was tired of fighting and struggling. And it seemed as soon as one problem was solved, a new one arose. Her grandmother took her into the kitchen. She filled 3 pots with water and placed each one on a high fire. Soon, the pots came to boil. In the first, she placed carrots. In the second, she placed eggs. And in the last, she placed ground coffee beans. She let them sit and boil without saying a word. About 20 minutes later, she turned off the burners. She fished the carrots out and placed them in a bowl. She pulled the eggs out and placed them in a bowl. Then she ladled the coffee out and placed it in a bowl. Turning to her granddaughter, she asked, "Tell me what you see." "Carrots, eggs, and coffee," she replied. Her grandmother brought her closer and asked her to feel the carrots. She did and noted that they were soft. The grandmother then asked the granddaughter to take the egg and break it. After pulling off the shell, she observed the hard-boiled egg. Finally, the grandmother asked the granddaughter to sip the coffee. The granddaughter smiled as she tasted its rich aroma. The granddaughter then asked, "What does it mean, grandmother?" Her grandmother explained that each of these objects had faced the same adversity: boiled water. Each reacted differently. The carrot went in strong, hard, and unrelenting. However, after being subjected to the boiling water, it softened and became weak. The egg had been fragile. Its thin outer shell had protected its liquid interior. But after sitting through the boiling water, its inside became hardened. The ground coffee beans were unique, however. After they were in the boiling water, they had changed the water. "So which are you?" she asked her granddaughter. "When adversity knocks on your door, how do you respond? Are you a carrot, an egg, or a coffee bean? Think of this. Which am I? Am I the carrot that seems strong, but with pain and adversity? Do I wilt and become soft and lose my strength? Am I the egg that starts with a malleable heart, but changes with the heat? Did I have a fluid spirit, but after a death, a breakup, a financial hardship, or some other trial, have I become hardened and stiff? Does my shell look the same, but on the inside am I bitter and tough with a stiff spirit and a hardened heart? Or am I like the coffee bean? The bean actually changes the hot water, the very circumstance that brings it pain. When the water gets hot, it releases the fragrance and flavor. If you're like the bean, when things are at their worst, you get better and you change the situation around you. When the hour is the darkest and the trials are the greatest, do you elevate yourself to another level? How do you handle adversity? Are you a carrot, an egg, or a coffee bean? May you have enough happiness to make you sweet, enough trials to make you strong, enough sorrow to keep you human, and enough hope to make you happy. The happiest of people don't necessarily have the best of everything or the best lives, y'all. They just make the most of everything that comes along their way. The brightest future will always be based on a forgotten past. I always tell people you can't wish for a better past. You can't go forward in life until you let go of your past failures and heartaches. I wanted to share this story with you because it resonated with me so deeply, because I've been all three of these things. I have been very deeply hurt, and especially as a very sensitive person and an empath. And I still, of course, I'm an empath still, and I still struggle, even with the written word, because I feel the energy of it hurts. And I have become soft and weak at times. Other times, I remember in my 30s, I was very angry, very, very angry person. And I became hard, like the hard-boiled egg, angry at everybody, mad at the world, didn't take responsibility for my shit. Until a point where I realized, you know what? This is my life. My life is what I make it. My experiences are there to enrich me. I can either feel like I'm being punished, or I can feel like I am being given an opportunity to step up. You know, there's a saying, within every test is a testimony and a testament to who you are and what you're capable of handling. I have been down in the deepest recesses of hell, and I know what it's like. But I also know what it's like to be on the other side, because I chose it. Whatever resources I could find, I was hell-bent on making sure I never went back to that awful, awful dark place. And whatever I needed to do to get out of a dark place, I would sure as shit do it. So I ask you, are you the egg? Are you the carrot? Are you the coffee bean? I hope you will be able to take hold of what's happening to you in your life and know that you're not just meant to feel shitty feelings. We're meant to feel joy and happiness and gratitude, to be present-centered and grounded, and feel like life is happening and moving forward. And that if we feel fear, that we can shift that into love and excitement. Did you know that the energy of anxiety and excitement is the same? It's just how we see it. I pray that you become the coffee bean, as I have prayed for myself many times, and I believe that I have become the coffee bean, because I couldn't do the work that I do if I wasn't a coffee bean. Never thought I'd say that about myself, but I am a coffee bean. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope this little spot of inspiration allowed you to really look at how you handle your life. Don't judge yourself for being hard, for being soft or weak, whatever. Screw that. Done. How are you going to handle your life now? Who do you want to be? I hope this episode has helped you. If you need some help becoming the coffee bean, and maybe you're the carrot or the egg, call me, 404-558-3971. Email me, Janis@janisrcohen.com. You want a reading around anything? Give me a call. I have people call me all the time through this podcast and, like I said, all over the world to do readings for them in any area. It's my pleasure to help you in any way I can. If you can, hop over to iTunes if you find this content relevant, helpful. That's my goal. And please leave, rate, and write just a few sentences in review of what your experience has been. The more ratings and reviews I get, the higher my visibility is and the more people I can help. I wish you a blessed week, a wonderful day, and as always, live intuitively.
Thanks for listening to The Intuitive Therapist with Janis R. Cohen. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share this podcast with a friend and subscribe, rate, and review at iTunes.